Hey guys, this is another one of my film reviews, and goddamn it, this movie is so fucking bad. What I decided to watch was American High School. It was a direct-to-video movie made in 2008. It wasn't released until 2009, and by God, this movie is so unbelievably shitty. I don't even think someone wrote this. I genuinely think that actually someone just walked onto set with a camera and literally just told a bunch of random teenagers to improvise stupid shit. Because that's really all the movie is. If you took out all of the nonsensical filler that is in this movie and you just pieced all of the plot points together, you probably have maybe about a 10 to a 15-minute short film. This movie dragged on for over 90 minutes. And I don't even understand how they got it to be that long. Some scenes just ramble on and on. I'm like, when are we going to get to the point? There's this one, it's centered around a girl who's socially awkward. People consider her boring, yet she's also married. And she's married to one of the more popular guys in the school. And there's this one girl who constantly keeps going after her husband, and her dad is an ex-actor who's also an ex-porn star. I believe that's what he said in one scene. And, okay, fine. That scenario can work, as stupid as it is. That scenario can work. It's not like they haven't done that before in a million other types of high school movies, but you know what? It's a formula. It usually ends up working regardless. So, okay, the only decent actor I can imagine in this movie is actually the main actress. Because, believe it or not, she appears to at least have fun with what she's given, and believe me, that's not much. I think one of the more entertaining characters might be her dad, but the actor who's playing the father is so unbearably annoying near the end of the movie. And by the third act of the film, if you can call it a third act, by the third act of the film, I was completely done. This guy was pissing me off to a point where I wanted to punch the fucking screen. At the same time, let's just talk about the direction, the cinematography, and the writing. One, let's just start backwards. Writing. This movie doesn't have a fucking script. And actually, you know what? The actor, forgive me, I can't remember his name. He played Mini-Me in Austin Powers. He plays the principal in this movie. And actually, he's actually kind of funny. His few lines that he has is actually kind of funny. But at the same time, the lines are so stupid that the scenes would just ramble on and on and on. I would wonder when they were getting to the point, and then they would just fade to black and go to the next scene. I'm like, you completely could cut that scene out, and I wouldn't have been any bit less than this. This is one of those movies where I really feel that I kind of lost time. I really feel like I lost time off my life because of this movie. And I've seen some pretty horrible films. I've seen I Spit on Your Grave. I've sat through all of the Friday the 13th films. I've even sat through Rob Zombie's remakes of Halloween. I have seen some pretty awful pieces of shit. But the thing is, this movie is probably got to be one of those that's really high up there. I've even seen Tommy Wiseau's The Room. At least in like movies like The Room, there's stuff I can make fun of. Here, I've got nothing. It's just pure, obnoxious whining throughout the entirety of the film. Let's just go to the cinematography. The cinematography is pretty stock. There really isn't that much in the way of camera movement, let alone fluid camera movement. There's a lot of times where the camera just sits awkwardly and lets the characters go in and out of frame. And a lot of times, there's a medium close-up with you can see basically the actors from about their shoulders up. And you have to keep waiting for them to go back and forth into the frame. And actually, sometimes about a few seconds would go by and you would wonder if they were coming back. The direction. There was no direction. There was no direction in this movie whatsoever. The person who directed this movie, I cannot remember his name. That's how forgettable his direction is. Because he wasn't really there. The editing recycles clips from earlier on in the movie for places that are supposed to make us feel sympathy for the main character, or, you know, vengeance against, like, the, you know, the so-called villains of the entire script. But, like, the thing is, this movie, everybody, except for the main character, and that's saying it very lightly, except for the main character, is so fucking annoying. I'm sorry if I'm swearing too much, and I don't really normally swear this much when I'm reviewing a movie. Really, the one thing I will say about this, the director would go on to do some dance MTV shows, and also he's also gone on to create a series. I don't know exactly what the series is. There's not much information on it that I could find. If it's big, I don't know if it's big. If it is big, then I'm completely not, you know, privy to that type of information. But American High School is, without a doubt, one of the most retarded one of the most retarded movies I've ever seen. And I've sat through a lot of the Van Wilder spin-offs, like Band Camp and 18-Year-Old Virgin and all that jazz. I've sat through a lot of those really stupid spin-offs of barely funny movies. So this is really a difficult thing for me. I mean, the main character, the main actress, sorry, but I cannot remember her name. I think I got it right here, actually. You know, her name is Jillian Murray, and the director's name is Sean Patrick Cannon. But she was in one movie beforehand called An American Carol, done by David Zucker, which was just, that was god-awful too. And considering it was from David Zucker, who made Airplane with Jim Abrams, and also he made the Naked Gun trilogy, and also, or the movies, also he made Ruthless People, and a hilarious funny comedy with Danny DeVito. And that movie was just plain awful too. It's like this one actress, she probably could be good if she was set into the right hands, but in all reality, she probably won't get, you know, huge roles because of the crap she's been in. I mean, I read that she, as soon as she finished high school, she went off to California to start her acting career. I'm like, I think that's interesting. That's pretty ballsy, considering you're not going to acting school first. But apparently she's gotten roles, but I don't know if it's necessarily roles you want to keep putting on a resume. But, you know, that's just me. So, overall, American High School, I barely give half a star. And the only reason I give like half a star to that out of 5 is because of the actor who plays Minnie, who plays the principal. He is still kind of funny. The main actress, she does have fun with what little she's given. And once or twice in the movie, I smirked at a joke. I laughed at some, like, I laughed briefly at some, like, obnoxious thing when it was still novel. But the pacing of this movie is just plain awful. I mean, I just kept thinking that this was just the beginning of the movie. When is the actual movie going to start? And it just kept going on until I realized I was 45 minutes in. I'm like, oh, fuck, this is the movie. So, you know, this is a movie I recommend people stay away from. There's barely even anything in this movie to poke fun at, let alone, you know, try to watch it just because it's a bad movie. There are plenty of bad movies out there that you can watch that you can poke fun at a lot. Battlefield Earth is a really great one. The overacting in that is so over the top and so wonderful that you can make fun of it for hours and laugh your ass off. But, you know, and also, I don't know, like certain movies that are bad that I really love, like, you know, From Dusk Till Dawn wasn't a great movie, but it was fucking great for what it was supposed to be. That's a great movie to watch in that kind of regard, but seriously, American High School, this movie is barely worth mentioning, and actually I feel a little slimy for mentioning it in one of my film reviews of all things. So that's all I got to say for you now, and I guess I'll just see which movie I'll watch next will come out, you know, either good or god-awful like this one.